Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the very first week of the new season of the Doghouse Racing League here on iRacing. Kicking off from Auto Club Speedway. We're glad to have you joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. We got trucks out on track. About 4.5 minutes left here in practice. Again, brand new season with familiar faces at the top of the leaderboard. We see Jeremiah Sutzman currently up at the top of that board. Last season's champion, Jonathan Jennings, sits back in the second position currently on the speed charts. Chris Leftwich back in third. Hunter Simpson and Jason Miz, your top five here in practice. So familiar names up at the top of the board. A couple new names here in the series. We've got Kevin Brown. We've got, let's see, what's the other names I haven't really seen in a while. I believe Michael Dow came in right at the end of last season. He's joined us again here. So, but a lot of familiar faces out there tonight as we get ready for 55 laps around Auto Club Speedway. And if you watched the race here, or the actual NASCAR race this past week, you'll be familiar with Auto Club Speedway. D-shaped 2-mile oval with a lot of character. A lot of bumps, very abrasive track surface. So we'll see tires being a premium here tonight as we take a look at the weather here tonight. That's the tail of the tape right there. 68 degrees Fahrenheit for the air and a 63. I'm sorry, that's track temperature is 84. That's 63% humidity. So kind of a cool track. So these drivers will have plenty of grip out there tonight. So we look forward to seeing a really good race, a lot of competitive, a lot of side-by-side racing. This track, very wide. We'll be able to see 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 wide through the corners as everybody's going to be kind of spreading out to get where they can get to try to find the clean air and get themselves in a position to win here tonight. Again, this is race number 1 here in the Doghouse Racing League. Glad to be back. Glad to have you all back watching along at home. We look forward to another fantastic season. We'll see if Jonathan Jennings, who's on track right here, can repeat and defend his title. See Hunter Simpson in the 5, currently 4th quickest on the speed charts. 15 of Eddie Rivers currently sits back in 8th. He's coming down across the line, and we got about a minute, almost a minute and a half left here in practice as we get set again for 55 laps. No stage breaks this season, going back to the old NASCAR scoring system. So no bonus points for stages. The only bonus points will be awarded for leading a lap and leading the most laps. Couple drivers getting some practice on the pit road. We see both Jonathan Jennings and Eddie Rivers trying to get some pit road practice. It's a tricky pit road to get onto, that's for sure. It's a tricky pit road to get off of as well, as the apron is very, very slick down there through turns 1 and 2. You might see drivers running that apron through turns 3 and 4. That is a possibility. But through turns 1 and 2, you should only see them up on the track. You see Mike Sema out here in that Cowboys machine working down underneath the 8 of Steve Gerber. And we're going to be ready to get qualifying underway in just a moment. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting that help you bring these races to life, including Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com. Of course, if you want to support the channel and support our man Atlee Weiss, check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com. And of course, as always, don't forget to check out the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And not just do they have gaming haptics, but they have speakers and subwoofers that you can put in or around your couch for listening to music, watching movies, get you that real immersive feel. So you can check out the full line over at thebuttkicker.com. As we got trucks on track getting ready to make their qualifying attempt, starting with the 73 of Jeffrey Wimmer. Just coming across the line to take the green flag. See Wimmer kind of running the middle of the track there, trying to stay off those seams, those black lines of seams. Can be really slick. He comes right down onto the apron to take the white flag. Already up at the top of the board, though, is last season's champion, the 91, Jonathan Jennings. Just posted a time of a 40.68. Hunter Simpson with a 40.75. And we see Chris Leftwich back there in third currently with a 40.80. With 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, Jonathan Jennings improves his time a little bit with a 40.46. Jeffrey Wimmer just goes second with a 40.60, and then Hunter Simpson just knocked him off with a 40.55. I do apologize for the tower looking a little funky over there. See if we can get that fixed for us in just a moment. See who else is out on track. We see Mike Leftwich just finished his qualifying attempt. Chris Leftwich just coming through turns 1 and 2. Down onto the backstretch. There we go. Now we got that tower looking proper there with 1 minute and 40 seconds left here in qualifying as Chris Leftwich comes down across the stripe. And he's going to jump up into the 15th position. Michael Dow just took the green flag for his first of 2 laps. And you'll notice just how much these trucks bounce around coming down the backstretch. Again, this track has a lot of character. It's a shame we're not going to be able to see this anymore in real life, but it lives on here on iRacing. I do apologize for the timing disappearing from the screen. We'll do what we can to get that back up onto the screen. Bear with me just one moment while we get this back up and running. Time has expired here as we get ready to grid these trucks up here tonight. And since my overlay's not working properly right now, Kevin Powell says hit the wall in his first lap. The incident messed up both laps. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. But let's bring you through our grid. Again, I apologize it's not up there on the screen, but I'm trying to get that back up and running. Jonathan Jennings with the pole. Hunter Simpson going to roll off from P2. Michael Sema, Kevin Brown back in row number 2. Then the 55 of Ricky Hudges and Jeffrey Wimmer make up row number 3. Row 4, we'll find Jason Miz and Daniel Wilkerson, with Mike Leftwich and Steve Gerber rounding out your top 10. 11th will be Christopher Simon and Justin McMahon in the 12th position. 13th is Gary Clune with Matthew Powell back in the 14th position. 15th, Jeremiah Stutzman and Chris Leftwich in the 16th position, followed by Tyler Millette and Eddie Rivers back in row number 9. Adam Gardner and Kevin Powell make up row number 10. In 21st will be Michael Dow, then Ricky Williams and Gary Armio will be the rest of the field here tonight at Auto Club as we get ready for 55 laps around Auto Club Speedway. Again, I do apologize for the ticker not being up on the screen. I'm working on getting that back up and running for you as soon as we can. This field's getting ready to come to the green flag. Pace truck car is off. Jonathan Jennings is going to lead him down to the green flag here. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Auto Club Speedway. Jonathan Jennings side by side. Hunter Simpson down into turn number 1. There we go. We got the timing back on the screen. Jonathan Jennings able to clear Hunter Simpson off of turn number 1. Here comes Michael Sema down underneath Simpson, trying to take over that second position as the yellow flag comes out. Looks like it's for the 20 of Justin McMahon, who's looped it around on the backstretch. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night as we take a look to see exactly what happened to McMahon here. Looks like just a little bit high. Oh no, that came, that was the 9. So there's actually 2 separate incidents as Justin McMahon actually got hit by Adam Gardner. That sent him for the spin. Meanwhile, at the same time, we had a couple other drivers make some contact here. Looks like take a look at the 13 of Chris Leftwich as well. Looks like The 9 of Matthew Powell was a little loose there. He's going to come down into the side of Chris Leftwich. The two of them slide down to the infield. Ooh, hard contact, though, for McMahon. That was McMahon that hit that inside wall a ton. Take a look at that in full speed there. And, yeah, just a hard angle for that 20 machine. So he's going to be done for the evening. As the Doghouse Racing League does not use resets, so any damage that is accrued during the race, they will have to try to get fixed up to get back out there. Unfortunately, it looks like Justin McMahon's night may be over. A couple drivers, though, making their way down pit road, trying to get some fuel. Try to extend the race a little bit further. We see Kevin Brown getting his fuel. See, Kevin Powell got some fuel. Jeremiah Stutzman coming off of pit road. Adam Gardner. There's Ricky Williams also coming off of pit road. We see Leftwich, who has a little bit of damage to the right front there, but doesn't look like it's significant enough to really injure that truck too much. Same with Matthew Powell. I'm sure he's got a little bit of damage to the left. Yep, he's got a little bit of damage to the left side of that truck, but looks like he's going to be okay. As it looks like next time by, we'll get the 1 to go. Of course, don't forget to join us after this one as the SCSRA is closing out their regular season in a couple weeks. 2 weeks until the end of the season. Tonight, they'll be taking on Iowa Speedway. Next week, they'll move on to Chicagoland, and then they'll start their playoffs. Richmond, Michigan, Talladega, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. So only 7 races remain in the SCSRA Truck Series, brought to you by Morris Custom, so you can check that out tonight at 9:30 right here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, new season here in the Doghouse Racing League. A great season as well. A little bit of a West Coast swing to start with Auto Club Las Vegas, Phoenix. Then we'll move on to Atlanta, Iowa, and Texas. We'll have an off week in the middle of April. Move on to Dover, Talladega, Chicago, Martinsville, Kansas, and Darlington. Have an off week, then go Charlotte, Gateway, Five Flag Speedway, and ending the series at Daytona. And having Daytona as the final race of the season, I'm a fan of that. That's going to be a wild finish for sure. So as the field makes their way down the backstretch, Jonathan Jennings is going to choose that inside lane, putting Hunter Simpson up on the high side. Mike Simo was not able to clear Hunter before the yellow flag came out, so he'll be restarting in the 3rd position with the 73 of Jeffrey Wimmer. I'm sorry, that's the 7 of Jason Miz is outside. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. They approach the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air, and Jennings gets another great jump off of Hunter Simpson as the field makes their way down towards turns 1 and 2. We see him down on that low side, trying to get around the 5 of Simpson. We saw him having the speed just before the yellow flag came out. We'll see if he's able to continue that here, as he's got Jason Miz got a little loose there up on the high side. Here comes Wimmer now using a little bit of a side draft to pull that 44 backwards. And Sino's going to fall back a few spots here as Jason Miz now takes over that 3rd spot. And he's going to try to hunt down the 5 of Hunter Simpson. Side-by-side battle continues between Wimmer and Hudges. Simo trying to use that low lane, but that high lane, that's when you can keep all the momentum up off the corner, especially as the tires start to wear out. You'll see that high lane come even more and more into play. And right behind we see Ricky Hudges in one of my favorite paint jobs of all time, a throwing back to the 1996 Rusty Wallace paint job. Meanwhile, up front, Hunter Simpson right there on the back bumper of Jonathan Jennings. Let's take a look back from Jennings' machine. This view right here will give you a really good view just how bumpy this track is, just how much these trucks move around here down the backstretch. As Jason Miz is right there on the back bumper of Hunter Simpson. So we take a look from the top of Jason Miz here and see the different lines that every driver is running. Trying to get in that clean air. Because the more in the clean air you are, the better you are at being able to move yourself forward. Hudges taking a look down underneath Sema. Oh, almost some contact between the 55 and the 44. As they continue to battle side by side, this is a battle for the 5th position. Sema, though, up on that high side, he's going to have the run off the corner, and Hudges is going to have to tuck back in line. A little further back, Christopher Simon all over the back bumper of Leftwich, but he's got the 11 of Gary Clune. Take a look down to the inside. Right behind, we see Tyler Millette in that 94 machine. Taking a look underneath, Michael Dow. So a lot of side-by-side racing here in the middle part of the pack. Meanwhile, back up front, Hunter Simpson has Jason Miz again right there on that back bumper. Miz is going to look a little bit higher, trying to get some clean air on the nose of that truck. See if he can try to get some momentum here down the backstretch to try to pull out and make a move here on Hunter Simpson. So far, just using a little bit of a bump draft, kind of push him down the backstretch, but not quite close enough to make something happen. Is now Jeffrey Wimmer trying to take a look down underneath Miz. And right behind you see Mike Seaman trying to take a look down underneath Wimmer. Oh, Tyler Millette having some issues. He is sliding through the grass on the front stretch. No caution. He's able to keep it green. Keep it rolling and keep the green flag out. Let's take a look to see if we can see what happened to Millette here. Oh, he just got tagged from behind. That looked like Stutzman gave him a little tap there. Sent him around. He's able to get back, forward, and rolling. And Hunter Simpson now through the grass. Makes his way back up onto the track. And what happened to Simpson? Oh, a little tag there from the 7 of Miz. Got him out of shape. What a save, though. Able to keep that truck rolling in the right direction, even through the grass. Fortunately, he's going to fall all the way back to the 21st position. But he was able to save that race truck. Meanwhile, Mike Sema and Jeffrey Wimmer continue to battle side by side. As now Miz is trying to take a look up on the high side of Jennings. Not quite close enough to make that happen as Jeffrey Wimmer makes his way around SEMA and puts himself up in the third position. And now here comes Miz up on the high side, trying to take the lead away from last year's champion, Jonathan Jennings. As they continue to race side by side down into turn number 3. A time by, Jason Miz had the lead by just a nose. Is KP out of the race? Kevin Powell is sitting back in the 13th position, battling with the 50 of Michael Dow. Oh, some contact a little further back. That was a question in the chat there. Yeah, Kevin Powell came down pit road on the first caution to take some fuel. See if he can stretch this run a little bit further than everybody else. Put himself in contention here tonight. As now Jason Miz has solidly taken over the lead. And right behind we see Jeffrey Wimmer and Ricky Hudges stalking that 91 of Jonathan Jennings. And we see the 44 Michael SEMA has fallen back a little bit, as Jennings is now trying to retake the lead away from Jason Miz. So they go side by side down the front stretch. And Jennings is going to retake the lead momentarily. See if Miz has an answer for him as they go down into turn number 1. Jennings is able to clear that 7 machine. And we are coming to lap number 18 of 55. And why don't we do a good old intensity, pump up the intensity here tonight. Just realized that I was completely muted there, and I apologize for that. See drivers coming down on the pit road, getting their service done, telling me these drivers are going to have to pit at least one more time after this. Jonathan Jennings out in front of Jeffrey Wimmer by just over a second, as now Mike Sema makes his way down pit road. Gary Clune, Adam Gardner down pit road. Kevin Powell back down pit road. Daniel Wilkerson, Kevin Brown. So a bunch of drivers making their way down on the pit road. Imagine they're more in need of tires than they are fuel, as we see Jonathan Jennings still out here running. And pulling away from second place, Jeffrey Wimmer. Now Jennings on the pit road. Wimmer and Hudges all making their way down pit road as well. That's going to give the lead to the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. Ricky Williams is now sitting back in the second position. See Jason Miz just coming off of turn number 2, and he will take over the lead when everything cycles around, unless Jennings is able to get on and off pit road before Jason Miz gets to him. See Miz now making his way off of turn number 4. Jennings just down and away. Let's see where Miz, yep, Miz is going to go right around Jennings here. So the early pit stop puts Miz out in front of Jennings. Currently out front though, Ricky Williams continues to lead. He's got his 5 bonus points for leading a lap here tonight. Now Williams is going to come down pit road. And that's going to put Jason Miz out in front of Jonathan Jennings by almost 3 seconds on the racetrack. Steve Gerber sits in the 3rd spot. Jeffrey Wimmer and Ricky Hudges going to be your top 5. Mike Sema did not have a very good pit stop. He's back in the 9th position battling with Kevin Powell. Powell's going to take a look down to the inside. And Powell's going to take away that 9th position. Daniel Wilkerson looking up to the high side of Gary Clune. Wilkerson's trying to get into the 11th position here. Adam Gardner right in front, running in that 10th position. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Wimmer running down Steve Gerber here, trying to take over that 3rd spot. We are just past the halfway mark in the race. Jason Miz leading over Jonathan Jennings by 2.5 seconds, but Jennings is closing in on Jason Miz ever so slightly. Wimmer still working on the back bumper of Steve Gerber. This again is a battle for the 3rd position. Right behind though, Ricky Hudges in the 55, back in the 5th spot, trying to run these two down. And he's hoping that these two start to get the racing. That's going to allow him to gain on these two for a position. Stutzman way up on the high side. He's trying to get around both Christopher Simon, Adam Gardner. Oh, almost some contact there. Oh, that puts Simon up into the wall. lot of damage to the right front of that 35 machine. Take a look again to see exactly what happened here. Just some slight contact there puts the 35 up into the wall. So Simon falls back into the 13th position as Jeremiah continues his march forward. Around Adam Gardner, now he's trying to run down the 44 of Mike Sema. That's a battle for the 7th position. It's been showing a lot of speed working that high lane. And I said that earlier, that high lane is going to be the preferred lane as the race goes on. And we're already starting to see it because that 71's up there making hay while the sun shines on those fresh tires. Meanwhile, up front, we see the 55 of Ricky Hudges getting around both Jeffrey Wimmer and Steve Gerber. Working that high line there, gets around the 73, puts Ricky Hudges up into that 3rd position. And Sussman still working that high lane here, trying to get around the 44 of Sema to set his sights on the 93 of Kevin Powell. Ricky Hudges my screen showed that Hudges was pitting for a second. I think he might have got a little low on the track, and that triggered the pit on my end as we see Stutzman up on the high side trying to get around the 93 of Powell. There's 25 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. Hudges has Wimmer right back there on the back bumper, trying to retake that final podium position here tonight. Jason Miz out in front, but Jonathan Jennings is running down. The interval when they came off of pit road was just over 3 seconds. Now it is just under 3/4 of a second. About 7 car lengths separate Jennings from Hudges. Don't look now, this battle between Ricky Hudges and Jeffrey Wimmer is continuing to heat up. Hunter Simpson working his way back through the field. He's the one that's battling with Christopher Simon right now. Just recently got around Ricky Williams, and he's going to move that 5 machine up into the 14th position. Meanwhile, this group of cars continues to do battle as they've starting to strung out a little bit. Jeremiah Stutzman up into the 6th spot, finally making his way around Kevin Powell. And these two continue to stay glued to each other. Just McMahon just came across here, let us know what happened from his perspective, and takes the blame. So he tried to take advantage of the checkup off of 2. Thought he was clear of the bottom. He wasn't, but he's going to get him next race. And McMahon, good to see that you'll be there for the next one. Definitely a racing deal. Sometimes you just don't realize that there's that truck down there on the low side, just barely in your blind spot when you try to cut down across, and that's exactly what happened to the 20 of McMahon that sent him hard into the inside wall. Meanwhile, we missed it. Jonathan Jennings has retaken the lead from Jason Miz. Let's see how he did it here with the big run off of turn number 4. Look at the difference in speed between these two trucks. And Jennings is pulling away because now that interval is just over. Almost a second and a half back to Jason Miz, who has Ricky Hudges and Jeffrey Wimmer battling back here right behind him and closing down on that set machine. So coming in a few laps early. He came in 3 laps earlier than Jennings, Wimmer, and Gerber. Sorry, Jennings, Hudges, and Wimmer. Gerber as well. They all pit on lap number 23. And you're seeing what 3 laps different in tires can do, as here comes Hudges running down that 7 of Miz. Miz is going to wisely pull down to the bottom of the track to let Hudges get around up on the high side. Wimmer's going to follow him right on through. Of course, there's going to be one more pit stop, and we're seeing Miz make his final pit stop right now as he's down on pit road. See if anybody else goes down pit road with him. But right now, it looks like everybody's going to stay out. Eddie Rivers also making his way down pit road. I have a feeling the majority of these drivers are going to pit with about 15 laps to go. Here comes Kevin Powell and Adam Gardner down on the pit road. I figure once Jonathan Jennings pits, that's going to be it, and the whole field is going to follow him down on the pit road. I imagine the rest of the field should be pitting in just the next couple laps. Steve Gerber is one of the first leaders to pit. Comes Daniel Wilkerson also down on the pit road. And here comes Jennings down on the pit road. Who's going to follow him down? Here comes Ricky Hudges and Jeffrey Wimmer, both on the pit road as well. Wimmer, a little bit of a lockup of those rear tires. Almost slides in. Jeremiah Stutzman also down on pit road. Hunter Simpson coming down on the pit road. That's going to give the lead over to the 44, Mike Seema. He's also going to get 5 bonus points for leading this lap. Now with just 15 laps to go, the big question is going to be, where does Jennings file out behind Miz? You see Miz just crossing the line right now. Jennings just rolling off of pit road. Here comes Jason Miz around. And he's going to pass Jennings. Not quite the gap that Miz had last time. As this time it's only about a second and a half. Because Mike Seema down on the pit road. Ricky Williams takes over the lead. He's got his 5 bonus points. Gary Clune currently back in the 2nd position. Christopher Simon runs back in third. Simon, though, peeling off down on the pit road this time. So it's Simon coming down on the pit road. That's going to leave just two drivers left the pit, Ricky Williams and Gary Clune. When all cycles around, Jason Miz will be your leader. Jonathan Jennings trying to run down that 7 machine with just 13 laps to go. Battle is continuing back here between Wimmer and Hudges. These two just can't seem to get separated from each other. Hudges just barely out in front of Wimmer for the time being, as Ricky Williams now makes his way down pit road. So doesn't Gary Clune. So that's going to give the lead to Jason Miz as they come through turns 3 and 4. As he crosses the line, starter will signal just 10 laps to go. Jennings is coming in a hurry. There it is. You see lap 43, 44. Jennings is almost a half a second quicker both of those laps. Jennings still running in the sub 41 bracket. Miz running 41.2s. Will Miz have enough here to hold off the 91 of Jennings and get the win? Or if Jennings going to be able to use those tires, those little bit newer tires, to power right around the 7 of Miz? We'll find out in just 9 laps. Lap traffic out in front of Miz. Lap traffic's going to go low, allow Miz the high side, but that was enough to check up that 7 machine. And look how close Jennings is now as they come off of turn number 4. Jennings right there on the back bumper. Just 8 laps to go. You see that run that Jennings was able to get down the front stretch. What can Jennings do to get around the 7 of Miz? He's got the run. He's got the look down to the inside. And Jonathan Jennings is going to retake the lead. Coming to 7 laps to go. Miz, though, fighting hard up on the high side. And these two side by side is exactly what Ricky Hudges wants to see. Even though he's 1.5 seconds back, he's going to quickly start to eat into that lead as these two run side by side off of turn number 2. Miz Tried to do a little crossover there, tried to be a little defensive, but Jennings just too strong off the corner. Can Miz do anything to try to turn the tables and get himself back around? Jonathan Jennings for the win here as we are coming to 6 laps to go. And as I say that, I see the shadows really showing up underneath these trucks, which tells me the sun just came out from behind a cloud. The track's going to get a little bit slicker. We'll see if that affects the handle of these race trucks at all. And Hudges is running down the 7 of Miz. The interval between Hudges and Miz is now just under a second, 0.8 seconds, coming to 5 laps to go. Can Hudges move himself onto the second step of the podium here tonight? A little further back, we see a battle back here between Kevin Brown and Gary Clune. This is a battle for the 14th and 15th position. Also, Hunter Simpson, who had that spin earlier in the race, was not able to catch a caution flag, but he's found himself up into the top 10 again. So he's working to get around Mike Seaman to move himself up into the 9th position. So a great recovery for the 5 of Hunter Simpson. He's able to claw his way back into the top 10. He's going to continue looking for more. So it looks like a little bit of contact between him and Seema. But looky here, Ricky Hudges running down that 7 of Miz. Down the backstretch within striking distance of the second step of the podium. And here comes Wimmer trying to look up to the high side. Just not close enough to make that move work as Hudges is there. Wimmer looked like he was going to try to take a little bit of advantage as here comes Hudges underneath the 7 of Miz, trying to take over that second spot as we're coming to 2 laps to go. They are side by side for the second position. Here comes Wimmer up into the mix here as well. 3-car race for the second spot. Hudges down on the low side, trying to get that momentum. Oh, he gets a little loose there. Miz had to make an evasive move as well. Here comes Wimmer down to the low side. They're 3 wide coming down the backstretch for the second position. Wimmer's going to take over that second spot. Hudges trying to push him along. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Jonathan Jennings out in front by 2.5 seconds. Hudges trying to do what he can to get himself back up onto the podium. Miz trying to hold on to that 3rd position. Hudges, though, is going to clear Jason Miz. Coming down the backstretch, does he have anything for Wimmer here down into turn number 3? He's going to take a look down to the inside. They're going to be side by side for the second position again. Off of turn number 4, Jonathan Jennings is going to get the win. Jason Miz up into the wall, down across the stripe. Jeffrey Wimmer is going to come home in second. Ricky Hudges back in 3rd, but Jonathan Jennings getting the win here tonight, continuing the momentum that he had going for him at the end of last season, winning the championship, and he wins the first race of the new season here at Auto Club Speedway. So Jennings going down to the front stretch to celebrate his victory here tonight. What a race here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Let's take a look at our results here tonight. As Wimmer makes his way down into victory lane, Jennings makes his way down the victory lane, and Jonathan Jennings getting the win. Jeffrey Wimmer comes home second. Ricky Hudges back in third. Jeremiah Stutzman brings it home. Jason Miz brings it home fourth, and Jeremiah Stutzman back in the fifth spot. Steve Gerber comes home in sixth. Kevin Powell brings it home seventh. Hunter Simpson rebounds for an eighth place finish. Daniel Wilkerson and Mike Sema round out your top 10. Adam Gardner brings it home 11th. Ricky Williams back in 12th. Gary Clune, Kevin Brown, and Christopher Simon round out the top 15. 16th was Michael Dow with Eddie Rivers in 17th. Tyler Millette back in 18th. Gary Romeo back in 19th. And Mike Leftwich in the 20th spot. 21st, Chris Leftwich, Michael Powell, and Justin McMahon round out the field here tonight in the first race of the season here in the Doghouse Racing League Truck Series. As we get ready to talk to our top three tonight, starting with your third place finisher, Ricky Hudges. Ricky, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Ricky, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You got me?
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Microphone's been having a couple issues.
No, it's all right. We'll let it slide this way only because you had that sweet paint job on there tonight. And I made a comment right at the top of the race. That's one of my favorite paint jobs of all time is the 96 Rusty Wallace paint job. So I was really digging that here tonight. But great run for you here tonight. You and Jeffrey Wimmer couldn't get away from each other, it seemed like, here tonight. You guys battled all race long. And coming down to the end there, racing with Miz, did you kind of think that that podium spot was going to slip away as the three you were racing three wide down the backstretch?
Well, yeah. When Jeff took us 3 wide going down into turn 3, I was like, oh my, there it goes. And then Miz he was getting tight on the long run, and we noticed it. And I was like, wherever Jeff goes, I'll just follow him. So then I tried to pull off second, but Jeff just had that run coming off turn 4. So, but yeah, no, I mean, it was a great race all in all. It's always a good race when you can go green flag start to finish.
That's fair. We did have that quick caution right there at the beginning of the race. I think it was lap 2, but the rest of the race, green flag racing, you're right. The 2 green flag pit stops. Pit stops seem to be kind of tough here tonight. I know the track was kind of on the cooler side, so there's plenty of grip, but getting on and off of pit road was, it seemed like a bit tough. A couple of drivers locking up the rear wheels, sliding around. Did that kind of concern you with the pit stops being under green?
Not too much. We raced this on Sunday also, and there's a spot that you can come off of turn 4 getting onto where the pit lane starts at. And you want to get to pit road as fast as possible, but I don't think people realize how fast it comes up because it's such a short distance. And practicing it throughout the week last week, and then slamming on the brakes but letting off, hitting them, letting them off at the right time kind of helps you get down to that 55 mile per hour point. But pit stops seemed to, like when you pit earlier, it seemed to work out in the short run. Miz did it. He pitted like 2 or 3 laps earlier than we did, and he had like a 4-second lead on us, but we ended up closing it within a few laps. So that's tires are everything at this track. So if you can hold out a little bit longer, knowing a yellow flag won't come out, you should be okay.
Well, again, great run here tonight, coming home on the podium P3. Before we let you go, Ricky, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to thank Shoney's for the broadcast, all that, and then would like to thank my wife and everybody and all the guys I raced with on the Tuesday night Doghouse. Daniel does a great job with this league, and we really appreciate it.
Well, again, congrats on the third place finish and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So that was your third place finisher, Ricky Hudges. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Jeffrey Wimmer. Jeff, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yep, I'm here.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Coming on P2, battling with Ricky all race long, and you made that amazing three-wide move down the backstretch. Talk about that move, and did that kind of when you got three wide like that? Did you know it was going to stick down there, or were you a little worried you might give it away there?
I wasn't positive it was going to stick. I was hoping it was going to stick. Uh, but I was just I was actually trying to get around the lap before, but it didn't work. So I was like, I got to throw it. When I seen him go try to take out Jason, I was like, I got to do something. So I took the high side on 1 and 2 to get a run on him. And then I'm glad it sticked.
Yeah, it seemed like you could run the high side, the low side, the middle, anywhere you wanted to put that truck. It seemed like it was working for you. Where did you feel your truck was the best, and what were you trying to do there at the end to try to conserve the tires to get up around those two?
3 and 4 was the best, like just run it the whole way down to the line. And then towards the middle of the run, get it up to the second, like the black groove, second black groove, and just run that after your tires start to get a little bit warmer. Seems like the fastest.
Well, again, congrats on your second place finish here in the first race of the season here tonight. A good way to start the season. You have momentum on your side. Before we let you go, Jeff, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
I thank the league. Thank all the guys in the league for good racing, and just that's you guys as the broadcasters. That's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the second place finish here tonight, and good luck the rest of the season as we look forward to catching this entire season here with you here.
All right, thank you, sir.
Have a great night. So that was your second place finisher, Jeffrey Wimmer. Let's bring in your winner, last year's champion and winner here tonight, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Continuing your winning ways from last season. It seemed like Miz was trying to undercut you there on the pit stops. He was able to get back out in front of you, but it seemed like tires just pitting a little bit later, having those tires there at the end played all the difference. Did you know that coming in that staying out as long as possible is going to be the way to go, or were you just trying to play it by as the race went on?
I wanted to stay out as long as I could without getting too far behind, because I knew from practice that like 5-lap newer tires was worth about half a second a lap, so yeah, they were worth a lot.
And you definitely made those made that work for you. Those brand new tires, or not brand new, but newer tires than the rest of the field there, getting your win here tonight. As the race went on, we had that early caution, I believe it was on lap 2 or 3. Did that kind of concern you, thinking that maybe this race would be a little more caution-filled than we normally see since it's the first race? Or did you kind of think it was just going to spread out and go green flag the rest of the way? And did that change your strategy at all?
Nah, I wasn't too concerned about cautions. Early in the run, during like at the beginning of the race, it's not surprising because it's fresh tires and they're kind of slick and you're grouped together. So, but I'm glad it went green though.
Yeah, the green flag racing definitely plays into your hand, and having that long run speed and being there at the end got you the win here tonight. Keeps that winning ways that you had last season. Well, before we let you go, Jonathan, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
You guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for the league and the races they put up, and all my teammates for the practices all week. It's definitely helps.
Yeah, well, it shows the practice you put in getting yourself here the win tonight. So, again, congrats on the first race of the season. We look forward to seeing if you can defend that championship here this season. So have a great night and good luck the rest of the way out.
All right, thank you.
So there you have it, your winner, Jonathan Jennings, here tonight in the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series. Don't forget to join us right after this one at 9:30 as the SCSRA Truck Series will be taking on Iowa for a little bit of short track racing. You're not going to want to miss that here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out our great partners down below, including Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs, the Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptics, as well as our web store over at intensitybroadcasting.com. Join us here next week as the Doghouse Racing League takes on Las Vegas Motor Speedway here on iRacing. And as always, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.